Yeah, I haven't heard from Vaughn on the soundproof backing for the fence. I know the fence is up.
It's not completely up. I know they still have a couple
It's in
sections to
process.
put up, but yeah.
And in writing, they've indicated that the processing area's been
Moved.
I think 500 feet plus into the property. Again, we'll see that. We'll do a final site visit once the soundproof backing's up.
Have you been contacted by fire or anybody about a walk around up there?
No, but I thought we used to do one once a year.
Yeah.
Haven't seen anything.
We
DEP
haven't. We didn't do anything during COVID.
Right.
I know.
Nope. No, I haven't.
They did issue the license.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
The licenses
Yep.
were issued because they were following through on their plan. It wasn't all
Right.
complete, but you know.
Well, actually, town administrator is also saying it's kind of two separate jurisdictions, you know, they renew the license, and if we have issues with sound, we
Yeah.
deal with it
That's
accordingly.
separate.
Yep.
Yep.
He was, last I knew, he had told us he was waiting for the blankets
Waiting
Right.
back.
to
Yep.
appear.
Yep.
You wanted them way back, and I guess supply chain or whatever you call
The
it.
supply chain. Yeah, sure.
Yep, so we'll just keep that on.
All right, 3 Bassett Road, friends down there.
Yep, so we did get it was just got it like Monday by email, the template for
From Joan.
the fine non-payment hearing, so, we need to schedule that, and, you know, usually we go out, I don't think there's any notice required on this, but,
I wish you'd just pay it, get it over with.
so we got June 20th, we'll get July 4th, obviously no meeting, July 18th is that meeting in July, the third Tuesday. I was kind of focusing on that meeting for this hearing, and also we got a septic variance hearing to schedule.
And that's the third week in July?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be around.
so if that works, we
Day
just
after
need to
my
pick a
birthday.
time.
Be another year.
And I'll draft up this hearing notice and get it to Joan and get it to Mr. Senni.
They're just, whatever, I'm not sure what they're doing.
Right.
I
But
mean,
if,
this is really a slam dunk, but
yeah. If he
they're
pays,
following their, whatever protocols they can.
if he pays before though, can the hearing be canceled?
Sure.
Yeah, if he
Yeah.
pays the fine.
If he pays the
I've
fine,
got a
then
$100 check sitting in a file ready to issue as
then the hearing goes away.
Okay,
Right.
Yeah,
great.
but he did call Monday.
Right, because
Was
we had
asking
talked
about
about.
it.
Oh, he
tonight-
did?
Yeah, yeah.
We had talked, because he thought, you know, we had talked about tonight being the hearing, but again, we just never got this notice.
Oh, right, okay,
Oh, right.
So
okay.
he is
He's aware,
of it.
okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
all right.
So that's the 18th. We're gonna go 7:30 for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And variance hearing for 66 Gates Pond.
Yep, that is, Mr. Rhodes is working with the homeowner there.
So that's an existing property?
Yep, so the existing system isn't failed, but it's where the proposed addition wants to be. So they're gonna put in a whole new system, which will be better than what's there, but they'll need some local variances. Typical stuff for an upgrade.
Okay.
3N, reserve area, 4D, perk tests, and 4F distances. They've got a reduction in offset to well and to wetlands. It's better than the existing system, but not the full 100 feet.
Okay.
Yep, so again, looking at 718, we'll put that at 745.
All right.
Now, Bill, you had a couple other things you wanted to add to the discussion, I thought.
Well, July meeting dates, just, you know, because again, that first July, Tuesday is the 4th. and the EDS plan. Sarah emailed to
I-
ask us how things are going.
144 pages?
Well,
Because a bunch of stuff's due June 15th,
Right.
so
Yeah, because
she's
Bobby
asking.
gave me this because he couldn't get the attachments.
I couldn't
to
get these
open.
docs, if they're any newer than what we had on the shelf, Paul.
Yeah.
I did go down and speak with the chief, fire chief today.
Yep,
He's gonna look it over, because Chief
Clark,
Clark was doing, kind of working on that.
okay.
So ours is 20 that was on the counter in there. I don't know if there's an updated, and it still had Chief Z's name in it, and still had Tom Andrews as a contact, and, you know.
Oh, wow,
so,
really
yeah.
dated information.
So
yeah.
I said, would you look into it? I let him take the EDS book for the day. I gotta go down and see him tomorrow, and he's gonna see if he can go through and see if, and even get in contact with Chief Clark to see if he worked on it, because he did the emergency management.
Right,
So
yeah.
he may, so he's gonna let me know tomorrow, and we're gonna try to get back to Sarah as soon as possible.
Yeah, certain things need to be signed, right, those agreements with the school.
Yeah, that, and
Yeah.
update these names that were,
Right.
if they weren't updated. See, I think they skipped a few years with us with the COVID, you know, and that.
Oh, yeah,
might
I
be-
think a lot of things got shuffled because of
Part of
COVID, yeah, for sure.
Or it came in and it was just like,
And she's.
not today.
She even pushed it out like months, remember, she said so.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on discussion before?
Nope, hearings at, well, just the EDS plan again.
Yep.
Whatever that, I'm sure Sarah will be reaching out to us again.
Yeah.
Hearings at 7:30, so then we can jump to permits and Title V inspections.
Yeah, so much of that, I mean, EDS and other things are geared to
Yeah,
large communities
Mhm.
with full staffs
Exactly.
and
Yep.
what I was gonna point out too.
very challenging
Right,
in
it's the
small
same plan
communities.
regardless
This one's
the
like
size.
the
Yeah, yeah, one
Yep.
size fits all, and
Yes.
that makes it challenging.
Contact Berlin Memorial School, Memorial School. Yeah, so a lot of that.
Okay, 248 Pleasant Street, tank and D-box.
Yeah, that was a tank and D-box permit triggered by a building permit. So I'm gonna frame this, this is a permit you'll actually get to sign. I've been signing it
wow.
now for 2.5 years, so.
Work has been done, or?
So is
Yeah,
it-
actually it has, Paul Wheeler did it, yep, I
is it
inspected it.
passed?
What's that?
Passed?
No, it's a septic tank and D-box permit
Oh,
approved.
just, okay, approved.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not down here.
Yep, exactly.
Put yours on there too, so
Oh.
you need to be inclusive here,
Okay.
just because you're wounded.
Yeah.
I want company in jail.
Hey, I sent out the agenda.
Yeah, I
The
know.
circle part of that whole deal too.
Oh, it's not required.
I think just updating information is, but not
Yeah, yeah.
as I read it, so.
I'd really like to know how many people are really up on that.
I think it's a kind of a bureaucratic type of thing
Yeah, I
starting
think,
here.
you think? 40 Barnes Hill Road.
Yeah, it's a septic tank permit, again triggered by building permit.
Was that Brant, or Taylor? Or Kennedy?
I don't know if I have any historic info here. Yeah, Kennedy, yep.
Kennedy?
Russell Kennedy,
Yep.
original system, 1968. Yep, so this was a redo of the whole house, it exceeded the $50,000.
Right.
So this is the permit for a new 1,500 gallon tank.
I'll put one on here somewhere.
That's a bill.
Okay, we can go to Title V inspection reports, and then got some other miscellaneous things we can jump back to
Yeah,
in
that's
discussion.
219 Pleasant.
Oh,
So we
219?
typed it wrong. Yep,
Okay.
and that is a pass.
That's right at the corner of Jones. Oh, don't worry about it, Billy. You think it shows?
Doesn't say.
No, I think it's the other one that we sold. They weren't in there long. I think they lost me.
Hmm?
I think they lost me.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Bill, a question for you. In your other communities, have you had any dealings with the septic loan program?
No. Bolton chose not to
Not to
take part in it
participate?
way back when it started. Lancaster did, and it's long since become defunct, so it's kind of, I mean, that money might still sit there, but I don't think anyone would have a clue how to access it. I guess no one's asked.
Well, we have somebody inquiring,
Mhm.
but they refuse to give the address.
Correct. Yes, I remember that discussion.
And it's like, you know, I don't know. I spoke with our town administrator today about it, and she suggested that I start with Irene Congdon, who may know something, but if she doesn't, Kristen knows somebody that has dealt with
Oh,
that.
yeah?
And Donna found out in our records years ago that Christine Turner dealt with it, but she got a stipend to deal
Oh,
with
really?
it. Yeah,
Yeah, good stuff,
10K.
Wow.
And it's like, this current board, we have no knowledge of how it works because we haven't,
I've released people
I know
from
Right.
something used to
septic
go in the
loan.
deed, and then once
Right.
it was paid off, then it would be
Yeah.
released.
Yeah, but it's
but
not
there's-
$10,000
There's all
worth
these
of
steps and
work.
steps and
Right.
steps and steps.
And we didn't get that much to begin with.
Right.
No.
We may not have enough left.
so, I mean, I guess it really originates with DEP, so I'm gonna do some exploring with them,
Yeah.
and we may or may not continue it, depending on
Yeah.
what we find out. I
That'll be
mean,
interesting, because I think towns were given X dollars, I don't know how that was established, and then, you know, the interest that was earned with the payback would just build that fund. for
Right,
future
keep that
use.
fund going, yeah.
So
but-
if a town discontinued it, I don't know where that money would go. I think once it's the towns, I just
I
don't
think
know.
so,
Go
too.
back
Yeah.
to free cash.
But,
Well-
yeah, it's set up in a special account, so
Yeah.
nothing gets paid out of that other than another septic loan.
Right. June probably is the one.
Well, I was just gonna ask if
I-
June,
I already asked, and she
No?
doesn't know
No.
how it works, no.
Well, the state,
It's been a long time since.
oh, it
I've
has
been
been, I mean, the only
Yeah.
thing I've seen in my time is a couple of these coming to conclusion. We
Right.
haven't,
Right.
Started one, so.
Right.
I did see something or read something.
But we may
somewhere
not have enough
that
money
The
either
state
in the
is
account.
reallocating money towards wells and septics, but
But the
I don't
47
know.
may not be enough for a whole system. I think
Well,
that's what
depends
we're
on
doing.
what kind of,
Depends,
Right,
you know.
right.
You might be able to get a system, depending on working conditions, you might
Right.
be able to get one for 25 or 30, but a lot of them are going for more than that,
Yeah.
so. It's site specific.
Yeah, and like, we don't know
down
Right.
where.
by the cemetery.
Okay, so we'll check that.
okay.
That one you
Okay,
just-
that works.
Okay, Stan and I have been talking, well, first of all, we need some coverage for July 8th. Some assist in coverage, because that is, there's a outdoor concert at 19 Carter, and First Parish is doing a chicken barbecue to piggyback on that, and Stan takes care of that, so.
And I'm gonna be there selling stickers
Stickers.
just for
I'm gonna
6
be
hours,
down the vineyard.
so I'm not gonna, so you're.
Bobby, are you on the island,
Yeah.
or what are you doing?
The first 2 weeks of down the island, so.
So that leaves me.
Or me?
Well, you just said you had something at 19 Carter.
No, there's a concert at 19 Carter.
Oh, okay.
That's not until 7 o'clock, so transfer station's closed by then, so,
Right,
all right.
and I'll be there for 6 hours, so, doing the stickers.
I would like to think
I can't
that,
remember. Yeah.
It's been amazingly busy the last couple Saturdays down there. People are still cleaning out. One of the things, just for general discussion, make you guys aware, when I'm down there, when Stan's down there, we're obviously watching what happens with the open top container. And there are people that, technically with DEP, we're not supposed to be accepting construction debris, wood and all that, but we do. I mean, because what are you gonna, where's it gonna go?
We send them to BP.
Yeah, yeah, but unfortunately, when it's
Couple
two
boards.
broken down bureaus, So Stan and I would like to see
Minimum
a
charge.
fee, a minimum charge with a ceiling, maybe for a full pickup truckload or so. All this has to be thrashed out. I mean, there's nothing definite. But Donna did some history for me, and over the last 11 months, that open top basically cost us almost $5,000 between hauling and disposal fees. And people are getting rid of some. And we have a few local contractors that, they bring their residual waste lumber from jobs. And the transfer station is specifically geared toward household trash.
Residential.
So we don't think it's unreasonable to consider some sort of minimum charge down there. The key issue there is how do we collect it, because not everybody travels with a checkbook, and we would have to, provide residents with a good couple months' notice, whether that be by mailers or signs or some of both. So we may be dipping into our mailing line item, Sue, just to prepare you. And we can go beg with FinCom later, but
I think Bolton has been for a few years when I checked the companies. They get $50 a pop for a truckload, a pickup truck full.
Oh,
But,
that's not unreasonable.
But
But
that's a good size.
there are a lot of people that come in, and they really
Yeah.
should.
Right.
It should be $10, $15. Not we're not trying to penalize. We're just trying to cover our costs with that, because one of the things, we were talking about the impact of Hudson Disposal selling out, and in talking to Phil, a lot of his customers were really 1 and 2 bag residential
Exactly.
customers.
Yep.
People that buy stickers for the transfer station usually generate more material.
Yeah.
And, we've been providing a very convenient service for a long time, but it also impacts our budget, so we need to start looking at trying to recoup some of that. So thinking about it is, I'm just putting it out on the table, we need to all be thinking about how we might go about that.
We need to check out how we can accept credit cards. That would be Paul Redmond.
At the transfer
Yeah,
with the machine.
because people, we need to
We
get,
don't
It might
have
work,
a wired thing.
well, there's this thing called Square, I know.
Right, but you have to have internet, right?
Right, well,
We
we
don't-
have to get internet, that's,
Okay. Right.
that's been
Something we've been trying to do for 4
Right.
years.
a pain in the backside for sure. But I gotta think that can be made to happen. We just haven't climbed high enough on the spectrum ladder.
Out of the dark ages.
Yeah, because if we had some sort of mechanism down there, that would be.
Yeah. Because, people don't travel with a checkbook. I mean, they know if they're bringing
Right.
white goods or something like that, I mean,
Yeah.
that's been established that there's gonna be a fee, but
Or vendor.
again, this is gonna be a change, and I don't think we have to wait for a year. I think this is something, assuming we can get internet down there, that we can implement in October, November.
Okay.
Allowing residents plenty of notice. Jumping around on the good news side, over the last year with scrap metal, We've taken in almost $3,700, which is nice. And actually, the CMRK, the textile recycling, we've taken in $800 or $900 in 6 months. So
I mean, it's,
It's income rather than outcome.
they're paying us 7 cents a pound, and we're not paying to get rid of it. So that's a win-win. Did any or all of you see the email from the green team
I started-
junk removal?
I kind of looked at that. There's a video that goes with that too. It's a little,
I need to give them a call.
well, that's.
There's a
was it
fee.
free? No, was it a fee or free?
No, there's a fee,
Okay.
$20 a
yeah,
card.
see, I couldn't get that.
I know, I didn't
On the
get that
video, they
far.
didn't even say that.
Unless you're bringing in a dehumidifier, and then there's no fee, and you get paid $30.
That doesn't make any
They didn't say
sense.
I
that.
know,
Yeah.
that's,
Well, I don't know. That's just what they're telling
I
us.
spoke to him and gave him.
Oh, did you?
his emails, he was reaching out.
Oh, okay.
But just the fact that he deals with mattresses, I thought it'd be worth talking to.
Oh, he does deal with mattresses?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
He didn't
it's-
say anything about that.
Yeah, maybe.
because he sent a proposal to what, another town, right?
Well, I gave him Bill and Bolton
I
Lane.
know that Lancaster, my sister-in-law just sold her house, and each mattress was $80.
80?
Box spring and mattress, both.
You know, to
But-
get 200 a ton for trash or BB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, like,
Yeah.
yeah, see,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's what we pay to get rid of it.
The problem with the mattresses, and it's real according to
Yeah.
DEP, is they float to the top in landfills, and
Right.
there's recyclable material in them, and some of these
No,
outfits just
just-
have
just-
guys with box cutters, and they cut them up and remove the springs, the wood, and they're able to do something with the fabric, so,
Well,
I
this
don't
was
know.
right to the town of Lancaster, and they they do, just like you said, they take care of it.
Yeah,
They
well,
send it to-
we've got 2 outfits we've already used.
It's working,
Yeah.
yeah, it's working.
One comes and picks them up, the other we bring them to them, so.
Terrific,
And we got a.
And,
grant.
you know, we do it,
what I say.
Yeah,
our-
we got a $10,000.
And our prices are too bad.
yeah, and our cost for it is $25 a piece, which is decent, very decent. But I'm gonna call this green team and try and get some more information. I mean,
There is 2-3 videos, Paul, that you can watch that they put on.
I'm sure they're scintillating.
Yeah, it was Tim Murray, one of them from Worcester, and then there's 2 others that you can watch, but they didn't talk prices.
Okay, electronic, here's some, I didn't see these. TVs and monitors, $20 each, mini fridge, $10, car batteries, $5. Geez, air conditioners, $5, microwaves, $8, printers and faxes, $5. Those are
Pretty low,
lower than what we are,
yeah,
but you gotta pay $20.
on top of the.
On top,
that's
it's a
it.
$20
So if you have a lot of stuff, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's
If you-
probably worth it, yeah.
You find someone with a humidifier to pay your bill.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Maybe we can sell a couple that we have at the transfer station.
Turn them in. Have us each run up.
Oh.
There you go.
It's just things like this make that whole marketplace more complicated. So many options. Okay. I mentioned this to Sue briefly earlier, where, and Donna's somewhat aware, but our rates at the transfer station are a little scrambled right now. 'Cause BP didn't,
Oh, not the BP ones.
Oh,
Yeah, the BP.
Not this one, yeah.
they didn't,
Yeah,
they didn't switch over charges at a certain date when they were supposed to, so there's been a number of months where
yeah.
we
No, I
were
was here when you- I was
undercharged,
here when you called.
and there's some times when we were overcharged. So I've talked to BP and said, you know, you guys got the manpower, you figure out where this is. And I told them, I said, you know, something to think about is if there's a lot of backtracking, and he mentioned something about 15 months, and I said, if there's a lot of backtracking, that's gonna be quite a bit of work and a real paperwork, technical nutcase. So I told them that we would be open to considering just putting a stake in the ground today at their asked for rates. Forget about the past, who owes who what, and just move forward so that we're all on the same page.
No more flexible.
You know, and we'll see. We may have to cough up some money, we may not, I don't know. Their bookkeeping sometimes has left me a little questionable. But we
It'd be
are not their only fish, so they're dealing with a lot of it.
Be
Exactly.
nice to know before the end of June, so
Wouldn't it?
so we could accrue some,
Fiscal year, right?
you know,
Yep,
say, we think we've got a bill coming for $30,000 from BP, and hold that aside.
yep,
Yeah, so we have to encumber that, right?
right, yeah, yep.
We're gonna have to make up,
Unless,
did he agree to go start fresh?
No, they
no,
haven't had
they're-
any.
they have to do their homework and see where the numbers fall. And I'm fearful that we're gonna owe them more than they owe us. In which case, I would expect that they would want to get a check.
Because I do track all of that too in the spreadsheet,
Mm-hmm.
so.
And I want to talk to them about more clarity on their bill, because I find their bill, and I'm familiar with that industry, and I find their bill confusing. We've got a hearing to start in a couple, 3 minutes, but briefly, Hudson Disposal is becoming McHugh Family Disposal.
Yep.
I talked to, well, leading into this, I talked to Fred Cummings, I've talked to Kristen, the town administrator. Rec department has a
bleachers.
bleacher system that is no longer safe, and Highway is, I guess, has agreed to trash it. And, you know, it's gonna end up at our transfer station, and I had told Kristen, I said, you know, I don't think the Board of Health should become the dumping ground for every other committee in this town. And she agreed, and she said, you know, we should be able to back-charge rec some amount of money for the bleachers. And talking to Highway, they're just not sure whether they're gonna do that before the end of this fiscal year or wait till after July, because he's got to look at some budget issues himself. So that's just pending, and
Rec does have a budget now,
I would think.
pretty good with the,
Highway hasn't been able to get a call back from Rec relative to this, so,
Okay.
you know, it's like, you know, the trash ferry comes, make it go away, and everybody's happy. So,
And next week, Donna and I we have to like June 15th or something. Got to look at the rest of the stuff for Irene Condon to, you know, she wants us to apply for those grants and take one less stab at that.
I mean, I haven't really looked at the list of grants. Are there any that would appeal to us and be helpful to us?
Every single one of them.
Because aren't a lot of them,
Have
you know,
strings.
pay as you
Pay as you throw.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to us, not without a major revamp of how we do
There's
things.
the food waste bins. They want us to start collecting food waste. But what do we do with it?
give it to the community garden people.
No, that's, food waste has, that's compost. Food,
Pigs.
because I don't want to have to take them home with me when we don't have someone to feed them.
Oh, do we want to talk about the composters too?
Oh,
price.
yeah, just
Are we
briefly,
Yeah, the price is like 65 now?
65.
65,
From
and Sue
43.
was saying the DEP wants us to sell them for cost. And, you know, buying a pallet load of composters is gonna be $1,300, and I don't know, I'm gonna talk to Stan, because he's been talking to residents about composters and how price sensitive they are.
Yeah,
You
How many do
know,
we
I
have
mean,
now?
from $42 to 65,
that's a lot.
people may be wondering,
Well, he sold the cracked one.
yeah, he fixed it.
Oh, we-
He-
okay.
He made a
Yeah, we
repair.
sold
Yeah,
We sold one?
yeah.
We've,
He's been selling.
yeah,
He
he's
sells
been
them.
selling them all along. Oh, you know, Pete just didn't want to.
We knew that.
Right. Yeah, because that, I mean, and we ordered last in 2019?
We ordered them in
Maybe before that.
2017,
17, okay.
so it's
they
been
went-
5 years.
We
Yeah, so
toted them
that's-
around for,
But that's a big, I mean, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
we
pay
stored them
60.
outside at Highway, and then we stored them inside in a couple of places. You
Yeah.
know, they're a bulky item, and they take up space, and,
So let's Google how much other companies are selling them for.
in different types, yeah.
all right. We got 7:30.
Yep.
Okay.
Time for a variance hearing on Lot 11 Lancaster Road.
Okay, so who's here
Chris,
for
come
that?
up if you want.
We got Chris Hansen.
I'm just gonna give you guys this, oh, that's
Crystal?
Crystal, my wife.
Right,
Yeah, we
yep.
have your cards.
Evening.
Here's all your cards and stuff.
Oh, good.
And then this, right here, I printed this offline, this shows that it was posted in
You
the
are.
newspaper.
Yep.
Seth, okay, well, you changed your look or something, I don't know.
Paper on it?
Still handsome.
Oh, I
I can,
took the words right out of my mouth.
Probably all.
Yeah, I just printed you the whole receipt.
how you been? Sit here and I can.
Alive and taking nourishment, enjoying septics and wells. and-
No one really enjoys
As
that.
long as.
Actually, it's a lot more fun than dealing with COVID.
This is true.
Yep.
You know, there's science to it.
Yeah.
When you have science and math, things can be a little more
I'll
exact.
put this in
I,
It
get
helps.
to, I like to draw them too. So
Yeah, there you go. All
it's
right.
okay. So.
the, Seth, do you need my plan?
I do indeed. Yeah, I've been out in the
plan here, too.
been out in the field. So.
I came,
That was my
prepared.
plan.
came prepared.
This one might lay flat. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they weren't even sure if I was going to show up tonight, so I just kind of showed up.
Oh, this is Seth.
Yeah.
Hi, Seth.
Hi. How are you?
I'm Sue Rigera. You're the one, you email stuff to me.
Oh, it's not dirty pictures, right?
Not
No,
like,
I've been getting those. I'm a little concerned.
All right. So basically what we've done here is we've changed the design to incorporate microfast, which allowed us to reduce the size of the system. We had to pressure dose it. But it allows us to get everything outside of that 100-foot buffer zone, including the reserve area. We don't have the 10-foot between the reserve area, but we do have both the primary and the reserve area outside of that 100-foot buffer zone.
It's a complete reserve.
It's a complete reserve, yep.
Yep.
So the original primary was what, 18 by 50, so by cutting it in half, we have two 9 by 50 beds side by side, one primary, one reserve.
So, I mean, we've absolutely done everything that we can to try to keep everything outside of that 100-foot buffer zone if we can.
the fast is that liner thing.
Well, FAST is.
No, the
it's-
FAST-
it's
Pressurized.
activated sludge treatment, so basically it's like
tanks.
a,
The insert
it's almost
in
like
the
a
tank.
mini treatment plant within a tank. It's what they're using over there on the.
Yeah, basically aerates the sewage
Yeah.
and pre-treats it before it goes out in the leach field so that the effluent is not as caustic once it's
Is it
getting out there.
90% that it treats in the tank?
It's
Something
the,
like that?
yeah, I mean, it's,
They're
I
it's,
think
doing
it's,
them on
yeah, I think it's
Wilson Road.
90%
it's
it
very
treats.
clear water that comes out of it, I know that.
Together.
The dosing, that just makes it more evenly distributed in the field. Is that the whole point?
Well, the
Yeah.
and the dosing is required
Required
as
under the
part of
approval.
the
To take
approval.
advantage of the
Correct.
50%, you have to
Correct.
push a dose, yeah.
Yep.
Because that equalizes out the effluent going through the pipes.
Yeah, so instead, in a normal system, you have the gravity flow system, you just have a septic tank that
tank.
goes to the distribution box
Right.
that then splits the flow and it just flows gravity from one end of the field to the other. This is an active system that pressurizes the entire system, so there's no distribution box. It's just going up and pressurizing the lines and it evenly
Right, the
distributes
entire bed is charged each time the pump. comes
every
on.
time that the pump comes on, yep.
Was this, is this the same system that just went in on, similar system that just went in on Whitney? Behind the Dunkin' Donuts there?
Geomat.
No, that's a
Oh, that was a Geomat. All
Geomat,
right.
that's what I was
Thank you.
thinking of.
These, Mark has been putting down on Wilson Road, Paul.
Okay, I haven't
Yeah,
looked
he
at
used those
those.
for a different reason, that was to get more gallons per day per acre.
Okay.
But it's the same idea that
Same
the fast
concept.
unit is treating that effluent, more than just a tank.
Is the fast system, is that work better even than a conventional system to treat the effluent, Seth?
Okay,
Instead of
it
using
all
sand to clean
depends,
it? I'm just
it all
I'm just
depends
curious.
okay, I mean, the answer is the effluent that's coming out of that septic tank with a microfast is absolutely more clean and clear than the effluent coming out of a standard septic tank. Now, we can sit here and we can argue all night
Right.
about what the actual environmental impacts
Yeah, I was
of
just
this
curious. I was
system
just
are,
curious.
but it does pre-treat the sewerage to a point that is, I wouldn't drink it, but maybe you could,
Yeah, right.
and not die.
You're supposed to say that.
Any engineer worth his salt, would, you know,
Yeah, well,
put it on the table.
that's it, yeah. What was that guy that used to drink the insecticide, remember?
So you,
I don't want to remember.
you end up with 20, what, you got 2,500 gallons a tank here, 2,000 and 1,000? or
It's a 1,500 and
50
1,000.
And 1,000, so
Yeah.
25.
Yep.
The 1,000 is the pump
The
chamber.
1,000 is the dosing chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the unit itself, I mean, does take up some space in that septic tank. And
Yeah.
it's basically a two compartment tank.
And I let Seth know when I was talking to Bill too, maybe it's something that you guys have seen before, so you're a little bit more familiar with. Seth did show Bill the perk rate, and I brought that to Bill, but I had mentioned to Seth, it's probably better off to change it to a fast system because it's probably something that's been presented to you guys before, so I thought that would.
So it's a two compartment tank, that first compartment acts as a septic tank, and that second compartment holds the fast unit itself.
And there's your,
Oh, so it's one tank but two compartments?
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
fast, yes, and then
Fast.
1,000 gallons after that.
yeah, and then that is forced. That's forced too, right, the second? Pump
Well, when the
chamber.
pump's on, it's
Yeah.
charging that.
So I mean, there's a blower unit in here, and there's a pump unit that will actually take.
Sloshes around.
It
Aerates
aerates
it,
it
yeah,
and
yeah.
brings it up over a growth medium.
Okay, bear with me. The 1,500 gallon tank is a two-part tank?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, and then that goes to the 1,000 gallon dosing tank?
Correct.
Right.
Okay, okay.
So I mean, essentially what we're doing is we're asking for all of the variances that we asked for the last time. And also one additional variance, I believe, would be to use an innovative alternative technology system.
Yeah, if you
on-
want, we can go through, again, the variances that the board had reviewed, approved, the well offset, the wetlands, well offset.
I think we should, just,
Yep.
to be
And,
up to date.
For F distance, they've eliminated the reduction in offset to wetland, but still have the reduction to property line offset from 25 to 21. But they've added two new variances. One is for F distances. Again, they do not provide that separation between primary and reserve. And 5F is the alternative system reg that says that to use an alternative system, you have to show that a conventional could be used meeting state and local regs. So this, they've shown they can do a conventional meeting Title V, but obviously can't meet local regs. That's why we're looking at this plan.
And I wanted to come back to you guys too to make sure that we showed, we tried to make every effort to meet that 100. I understand that was important. Again, it was pretty much my first time in front of this board, so I have a better understanding of what you guys are looking for now, and
Back in the old meeting minutes.
I hope we can, find something that works for everybody.
Yeah, so these are the
What else here? Plenty.
Yeah,
And
so-
the 4F variance is the distance between.
primary, right, town says 10, 0 is provided, I don't think Title V addresses
It-
reserve offset unless.
It just needs to be a separate area.
Separate area,
Yeah,
yep.
so that meets the letter of Title V as well. There was no offset distance that's specified in between primary and reserve areas in Title V, except those that are addressed with trenches
Trenches,
being the offset distances between the trenches, if you're doing primary in between reserve.
So I have been working with Conservation too, so we did get a DEP number for this plan. I'm just letting you guys know that, because I've been working with Conservation too.
Good.
So they have this plan. There was a couple small revisions that they wanted here that I gave them about the culvert size and the width and all that other stuff. Some recommendations from DEP, the reviewer. So Seth put those on the
Yeah, we
plan for
made a
tonight,
few
too.
real minor
No.
changes on it.
That driveway was present already,
Yeah.
sort of, wasn't it?
Correct.
So you
Well,
were
it is
kind
an
of
exist-
fortunate,
Yeah, it was an
somewhat there.
existing crossing.
Yeah.
So the culvert, from the two wetland scientists that were out there, the culvert pipe is actually in okay shape. So,
That's not, yeah.
So we
yeah.
don't have to alter
I
it.
just happened to notice there was already an entrance in there. I said, well, that's. okay.
Just curious, how big is that culvert pipe? Is it 2 foot?
Yeah, it's a 15-inch.
Yeah, 15.
15
Okay,
inch.
15 inch.
Yeah, and it's 20, I think it's 30 feet long, and the area where it goes over the pipe is like low 20s, 21, 22 feet, and I think this is scaled to propose a
This
12-foot
is,
driveway.
yeah, this is the driveway ultimately is gonna be 12 feet wide paved. So, I mean, you obviously, you're not gonna want any trees and stuff right there. You
Right,
Probably
right, of course.
won't be able to have any there.
We also did make some revisions. Here's how this grade's low. There is on the new plan on the PDF.
Oh, that's right, it's,
We have a boulder wall that's gonna go in there and a wrap stone swale in front of that driveway to hold that grade up, so that this isn't so steep right here.
So I know that there are some revisions that Bill has requested. All of those revisions, when they're complete, will reflect the revisions that you're looking for and also the revisions that are being asked of conservation. So you'll see that stone retaining wall over here. They just wanted us to tighten up this erosion control.
Yeah, I have all that.
No, the poly barrier's going where?
It's going on the 5-foot over dig.
On the overdue, for the
Yep.
breakout, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's shown
Yep.
right there.
Oh, okay,
What that
yep,
does is
yep.
tightens up where
Sure.
that level elevation
Yeah.
starts with your 3-to-1
Stuff,
beyond it.
breakout, that's good, yep.
And it's also not a bad selling point to conservation as well. And you
No.
have an impervious barrier at, on the downslope side.
Exactly.
And
Well, this is one of those challenging sites at best, so it's best to err on the side of caution
Right.
when you're trying to accomplish this. And the system is sized for how many bedroom house?
3.
3. Okay.
All the resource areas, right? We have all that protected, the well offsets. Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
that.
we've got our 100-foot well offset.
Yeah.
Actually, the tanks and everything are outside of that. We're outside of 100 feet here. This is the closest one. And then this one,
Yeah.
Way out there.
this one is shown as an approximate because they wouldn't let me go on their property to actually locate it. So,
Yeah, that's okay. They don't. Yeah,
There.
it's
But-
way over.
but I
there,
mean,
yeah. It's on the other side.
yeah,
of the
we
street.
have-
They wouldn't let you go on their property?
no.
No,
I-
they would. They actually they called my wife and said after it was fine.
They
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
Because their
Well,
dog was
They just
outside
didn't
and they were-
know. Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
When people don't know something.
Yeah, yeah, but,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, you
she
never
was
know
very
these days. A lot of
polite.
you know. You never
Learn
know.
You
quick.
never know when
I
people
had a
go-
dog fence, and
You never know these days.
Never know.
Exactly.
I try to tell everybody that I'm a harmless weirdo, but oftentimes they don't listen.
They forget the word harmless. Short-term memories.
Yeah.
They'll
They
bury
only
ya.
hear the last one.
Yeah.
So the two new variances they are requesting are, instead of 25 feet to property line, they're asking for 21.
Well, that's not a new one, though. That was
That-
the
that's
same
new
as
one.
the previous design. The two, again, the one that's been removed is the reduction in offset to wetlands. They're now 100 feet.
That's, yeah.
The one that, the two that have been added is 4F, not supplying 10-foot between primary and reserve, and 5F, which is the alternative systems reg that again says you have to show a conventional meeting state and local regs. They meet state but not local. That's, you know, obviously why they're requesting the use of the FAST to get away from that wetlands offset.
I really feel that this is absolutely maximum feasible compliance with you guys' regulations for this particular site.
Not many other directions you can go.
We've done one of these somewhere else besides Wilson, haven't we, Paul?
FAST on Collins Road, yeah?
Collins, that's where it was, Collins. above-
Collins off of Lancaster, right?
Yeah, yeah, further up.
Right around the corner, huh?
Yeah,
That
Basically,
case it was
yeah.
used,
There's a big crossing over there, isn't there?
Collins?
road?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's a
This
big
is right.
crossing, huh?
In fact, the lot that we used one of these on was to reduce, at the time, the board required 150 feet between wetlands and a septic system intermediate soils. With the use of a FAST, they allowed it somewhere between 100 and 150, so it was used to reduce that wetlands offset there.
So I had asked Seth to come back and put the FAST system in there so that hopefully to meet that 100. And, you know, that's trying to do everything we can.
So did Conservation have any problem with tanks or system? that they could come
Conservation,
up-
basically, honestly, to tell you the truth, they kicked it back to you guys. I mean, to tell you the truth. I mean,
Of course they
I mean,
did.
at the end of the
Shocking.
day.
I'm shocked.
No, I mean, honestly, what they said
I
is
know.
that,
Yeah,
you know,
we get it all the
they
time.
showed us the boulder wall, they said, okay, so I made all the revisions that they had asked me to do, and then basically, at the end of the day,
The barrier.
I did the notice of intent.
No, that was on the
And they
original.
basically just said, you know, we're gonna follow through, we work in conjunction with the Board of Health,
Yeah.
which is understood.
I mean, they
Yeah.
can take their ball and carry so far, and
Correct,
then
correct.
then it goes
Correct.
to somebody else, in this case, us. Yep,
Understood.
that's normal. That's normal.
Oh, I don't know how to solve it meets state but not local regs for an alternate system.
Because I think if you met, well, you said, or Bill or Seth, you correct me, but if you met by conventional, I don't think anybody would want to put alternative because it'll cost you a lot more money.
Right, well, I mean, true. They are definitely,
Definitely more pricey, but
the reason why we're proposing it is because this is
This is what will work
This is what we can.
within
Yeah,
Yeah, well, we have to-
I mean,
general
we're gonna-
parameters.
to try to
We're
be,
trying to
try
keep
to be
the-
fair to you guys and,
Yeah,
Yep, understood.
Yep.
you
Right.
know,
100 feet that you guys
Yep.
really wanted. So that was.
Well, you certainly made a good effort. I, for one, just need to sleep on this a little bit because we are looking at a couple things that we haven't traditionally done.
And we don't like setting precedent.
Well, not without sleeping on it. You know, this is much better than what we certainly looked at earlier. So unless the board wants to vote on it tonight, I suggest that we just continue this to our next meeting and have a decision for then. I just want to review a couple things in our files relative to this and you know, Sue, your point, of not being able to show a conventional system would work. Has some merit, but
Well, one thing that I would like to say here
Please.
is that the conventional system that we showed you guys initially,
yeah,
the portion that would have been constructed was outside of the 100-foot. It was the reserve area that we were asking for that variance. So, I mean, really, we could keep the primary constructed system 100 feet from the wetland. And
the reserve did not, would
Right,
not. Yeah.
right. The reserve, we could not.
We squeezed them together now, and, which creates another variance, but it's a nicer system, or equivalent.
And cleaner, that was the other thing, it's a lot cleaner.
And it maintains that the 100-foot, which is something that seemed to be something that you guys were very adamant.
Yeah, that's a kind of major stake in the ground. So getting around that is a big
And
plus.
what does that do with the height with this system? Does it drop it for you, or does it pick it up?
Oh, just, you know, yeah, I mean, it's not,
Negligible.
yeah, I mean, in terms of the height of the mound, it really wasn't that big of a difference because
still gotta-
you go from a 4-inch pipe to an 1.5-inch pipe, you know, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
that's your difference.
I was looking at that in the bed, how it does manifold down to smaller,
Yeah,
to do that pressure thing.
right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's gonna be the same as,
You know, a little longer, but not as fast, yeah.
no, actually, I mean, it's actually the same length, it's just, it's basically,
Yeah.
with that system, since it's a 50% reduction, you're able to,
Yeah, yeah.
like, this would have been the
Sure.
system that was proposed,
Yeah,
gravity
yeah,
feed.
right,
you know.
right.
Bill, do you have any last comments on this?
Nope, I think it's the best that could be done.
Mhm.
It's really up to the board, how they feel about those two additional variances.
Well, I like it, but Paul, to go along with the chairman, and maybe we just research it a little, and the next meeting, I will be here by phone, but.
It's all
I'll
right.
be willing to-
We can get you
Yeah.
by phone.
Yeah.
That works.
Or, if we do Zoom, I can get on that, you know.
Or we'll have an opportunity to talk about it and
Yeah, that's
may
all.
get your
Yeah,
input
yeah,
before
Yeah,
that, so,
yeah,
you know,
whatever, yeah.
whether you're available or not, I think we can work around that. I don't see that as an issue.
Why not, man?
Okay, then.
And the next meeting is when?
Should I make a motion
Yeah,
to
let's
continue?
please make a motion to continue.
You guys want to continue it?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
hopefully that you guys,
No, they want an answer tonight.
They would
They're gonna go along with
they would
us.
like an answer last week.
No,
Who are you kidding?
I-
I mean, you
What
know.
I'm saying
listen,
is
hey,
that
listen,
you're
guys,
not
I just, you know,
push the
if
vote.
we can work this out, it's better. It takes
Yep.
you guys a little bit of talking to work it out. I mean, it's fine. I'm not.
I just hope you
apologize.
appreciate, we have to do step by step here, and when we get thrown, I'll call them curveballs.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game out there, we get curveballs,
I know
so
it's not
we
a
just,
traditional one,
Well,
guys.
it's
We
not,
understand.
it's not easy, and I understand it's a
You gotta
tough
work
lot,
hard.
and,
We're
and,
trying to
you know, so we're just trying to compromise with you
Yep.
guys.
All right,
Very nice.
I make a motion to continue this hearing.
I'll second that motion.
all in favor?
So is the next one's here again?
That's the question, are we
Yeah.
Zoom or in person?
Yeah,
you gonna
person's
be around,
easier,
Phil?
but
You know,
I can do
I can get on
either.
the phone and just say,
I do Zoom. I'm assuming I'll be back on my feet by then.
if you
Maybe
take it
they'll let me
easy.
drive.
Well,
What's going on?
I'm up for doing it in person if
Had
everybody's in
surgery
agreement
on my
with that.
back 6 days
Yeah.
I
ago.
always think
Okay.
that's better.
Tough.
So that'll
Riding
be
is
the
not fun.
So that'd be,
You look like you're doing all right, though.
20th.
I'm
Yeah.
on drugs.
Yeah, normally
Share?
we would
Yeah,
go
I don't
7:30
have 'em with
again,
me.
because 7 to 7:30, we kind of have that.
Yeah.
person
Yeah,
versus
7:30.
walking, right, so plan on 7:30.
We won't start without,
7:30.
We'll be here, don't
No,
worry.
I'm sure you'll be here.
Yeah, so there should be a time limit, so 7:30, 6:20 in person.
6:20, okay. Got it.
Yep.
It looks pretty good. Nice driveway in, nice, is it gonna be under
Want me to ask him?
garage, under the house?
I can,
Yeah, so that's
attend,
probably-
I can
yeah, it'll
attend
be like
by,
under,
by
just
phone.
right.
I don't think,
Yep.
I don't
Is
think,
that okay?
you know, you
It's
guys,
okay.
I can get on the phone if you guys have any questions or anything, you know,
Seth,
so.
wanna slide that plan down? Yeah, if the board has questions before then, we can certainly reach out to.
Yeah,
Seth.
right. I mean,
Absolutely.
through Bill or whatever,
Yeah,
we'll,
yeah.
you know.
Did
If
you guys get that revised plan I sent PDF to with the boulder wall and everything on there?
We
I-
did, but like I
Okay,
say,
okay.
Seth will give us a final
I'll get you,
plan.
well,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
waiting, I was waiting for,
I don't know if I saw
for the
that, but that
comments
was
from
neat.
you.
Looks
Yep.
like- I saw the barrier, which I didn't notice before. I always like that, I mean, you know,
Yeah, if there are any
like it.
questions, we'll generate them before the meeting.
Very
We're
good.
not gonna,
All right, all right,
you know.
appreciate your time this evening, thank you
All
very
right.
much.
All right, thanks.
Have a good
everybody.
night.
Night.
thank you, guys.
Yep.
Gone in July.
Yeah, you're in July.
I think somebody gave him some coaching.
Please tell, oh, we're still
I'll
being
be here.
Yeah, we're still being
I'll be here
recorded.
June 20th. I was thinking it was into July, but.
Yeah.
No, June 20th, okay, yeah.